Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Iffey Studios! Yeah! Hello, guys. This is, well, the stuff that the summary of Iffey History missed. And we're gonna walk around and talk about the stuff that I missed in the summary of Iffey History. Well, let's first start out with the Iffey invasion of the Upper Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula invasion of the UP started right after the Partisan Revolution. It was one of the first places invaded by Iffey. The Partisan Iffey government did many things to try to expand its influence. And the Iffey government had an opportunity to, showcase its power by invading our peninsula. But there was a rule within the Iffey Constitution that said that you need to have a defined territory to be invaded halfway across an Iffey flag to conquer that defined territory. Now, this defined piece of territory was the Upper Peninsula. And sadly, the Iffey government didn't even come close. They're just around a total of like 60 miles into the Upper Peninsula. No, it's more like 20. It was more like 20 miles. It was a horrendous failure. And it was Iffey's very first invasion in this realm of the outside world, outside Minecraft. The Iffey government was completely shocked, completely and utterly shocked that it failed to invade the Upper Peninsula. So, guess what they did? Does the Iffey government, after because they started an invasion in 2016, right, sometime in August, around the time of the Partisan Revolution, and that failed. So the next year after that, no wait, sorry guys, 2 years later, the Iffey government attempts to invade UP a second time in July, I believe it's July or August in 2018. This was immense. You see, this was immense. This was an immense time for these governments. Yeah, it was really a big time for these governments, because, well, let's just say the Iffey government, it needed to go forward with its 2018 invasion of the Upper Peninsula. It needed, between July and August 2018, it had to do it again. It had to invade UP again, because they invaded all the eastern coast of America, but they didn't even come close to invading the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So the Iffey government, between July and August 2018, invaded up to Marquette in the Upper Peninsula, making it about halfway across the territory of the UP, making it officially a part of the Iffey government signing of a treaty. Our dear glorious leader has made this a marvel of an achievement for Iffey. And I doubt that the UP invasion will ever be seen any. What would I doubt that the European invasion would be another one. We'll have another one of those grand, epic moments of failure and triumph in Iffey history. Anyway, another thing between July 2017, we have the Iffey invasion of Washington, D.C. Yep, you heard me right. The Iffey invasion of Washington, D.C. Wow. This invasion, was about 1 week long. And the Iffey government waved Iffey flags in the Congress building, where, Congress at in Washington, D.C. Across, the Capitol building. All over the place, with Iffey flags being waved over the place. It was a grand triumph. The library waved. In many, many, many places in Pennsylvania, historically significant to America, and other places too, all had Iffey flags being waved. It was a really epic invasion. And my, it was immense. I don't really think that anything could compare to that in a long, long time. I'm having a struggle right now, but it's great. It's fine. This is off the beaten trail. Anyway, this literally marks a beginning turn for Iffey's invasion, Iffey's expansion. This was glorious, President Trump who was the president at the time, he was not in Washington, D.C. He was on a trip. The Iffey government saw this opportunity and waved flags even in front of police officers who didn't care at all, making the Iffey government feel more justified to be an independent nation. Oh, great, isn't that a path? Justified to be an independent nation, This invasion really just made Iffey have his holiday, This is a great invasion for Iffey. It lasted about a week, but so much success. So much success in it. July 2017 is when this invasion took place. And it was glorious. Another thing the Iffey government did was the formation of the UNAP. Very major historical moment in Iffey history, because the Iffey government now, they had a military alliance. The UNAP, which is a military alliance, they helped out with Iffey's wars and stuff. Without them, the Iffey government wouldn't be anything, It wouldn't be anything at all. Now, this is basically it, guys. That's all I can really say about Iffey politics. If there's more in myths, look at other stuff. It's not that hard. But see you guys. Bye! Hey guys! Here is also the brief history of the anti-Iffey movement. The anti-Iffey movement started in May 2015. 1 month after the formation of Iffey on April 5th, 2015. The founding member of the whole anti-Iffey movement was one of the founding members of Iffey, which was two people, glorious leader and his brother. This led to this brotherly tension led to a formified anti-Iffey retaliation that formed the anti-Iffey movement. Now, this retaliation at the beginning was formed of many Minecraft, little Minecraft nations only stand a chance against Iffey, and outbursts, sometimes random outbursts. but it didn't really lead to much, since the Iffey government knew what it was doing. But throughout these micronational outbursts came the Soviet Republic of Lugansk, the very first anti-Iffey country that wasn't family-oriented in the Iffey government. This country stemmified anti-Iffey tensions into the Ionian Republic, which is the capital city of Iffey. The Soviet Republic of Lugansk really made anti-Iffey tensions systemic. But the country of Pan Nation later on really popularized anti-Iffey movements within the region. Pan Nation made its popularization happen because it had a population of 20 people, which were completely loyal to being as anti-Iffey as possible. And this popularization made the capital city of Ionia, of Iffey, very much an anti-Iffey haven at times. This Pan Nation's popularization of anti-Iffey sentiment led to 2 years of constant anti-Iffey nations rising and falling, challenging the dominance of the Iffey government. There were 6 civil wars for all anti-Iffey movements against Iffey. Even the 5th Iffey Civil War, which wasn't really that powerful and one of the weakest civil wars in Iffey history, against Iffey versus the Gavinists Iffey state. Even that was an anti-Iffey movement. Basically, all countries against Iffey were anti-Iffey in nature. They were essentially governments run with the purpose of taking down Iffey at all costs. But the anti-Iffey movement was not very united. They were divided by anarchists, libertarians, dictatorships, monarchies, and so much more. The Iffey government used puppet governments to systemically try to, attack the anti-Iffey movement, which led to civil wars and wars of many sorts. The Iffey government was not very keen on these governments being around for much longer. But eventually, these wars popped up and down around, but the 6th Iffey Civil War marked the height of the anti-Iffey movement, in which multitudes of anti-Iffey nations came together in a decentralized coalition against Iffey. This decentralized coalition had the main goal of trying to take down Iffey at all costs. This war lasted for 2 months, and it was challenging for the Iffey government. But eventually the Iffey government won. And by the Iffey government winning the 6th Iffey Civil War, it made the Iffey government basically unstoppable. And the anti-Iffey movement was reduced down to a near extinct level of one person, who was the original founder of the anti-Iffey movement in the first place. And also his friend too. But his friend eventually gave up by the beginning of the new year of 2019. These anti-Iffey movements led to an extreme time shift of just momentum. But eventually the anti-Iffey movement basically died off once the Iffey government retired. The anti-Iffey movement did not have enough resources nor manpower to continue after Iffey's retirement. So they collapsed. And then when the re-established Iffey Empire came, there's nothing anti-Iffeys can really do about it. They were useless. Absolutely useless. The Brandlands Empire is merely a fluke of anti-Iffeyism within the dominance time of Iffey imperialism for the power of love and respect. That is the motto and hope of the reestablished Iffey Empire. Thank you all for watching. Bye!